What kind of fucking bullshit is like?
Dude, he does this every week.
The bad news is that civilization is crumbling around you.
Wear a dog mask, cut your dick off, bomb Palestine.
The good news is that you are not alone.
There's butthole shaving videos.
I feel bad for the minorities in LA for having to deal with the white people in LA.
You have 5 till midnight, live every Monday at 8 p.m. where you join 5 Limp Bizkit Americans to laugh at the absurd nonsense of the end of history.
Shit show right there.
Sam, stop!
Was that a little bit of a delay for anybody else, or was that just
Probably,
me?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on in the video, honestly. Well, that's the Sam problem. He's a producer that isn't here, so
we'll
it's
just
fine.
blame Sam. He's I think he's still collecting donations for Chase Oliver's 2028 campaign. Anyways, welcome back to everybody's favorite Monday night show, 5 till midnight. Tonight we have Zach from the Unfit Statesman coming on. First time I ever met him, but I've heard very, very good things, and I've enjoyed the interviews he's done. So welcome to the show, man. How's everybody doing?
Good, dude. Pope's dead. It's awesome.
Thanks for having me.
What? No.
Yeah, there was a viral tweet saying, JD Vance, can you go shake my mother-in-law's hand or something
Yeah,
like that?
His name's Dan Carney. That was very funny. Yeah. What did Jordan up here say? Notice Vance immediately travels to India to receive his next assignment.
Oh, dude. Well, I don't know if you want to shake hands over there, dude.
No, you'll get dysentery like the Oregon Trail and die. Like right away.
Yeah, more than likely. Fucking Christ.
Oh shit, Luke! Congratulations, getting married. You fucking idiot. Look at this guy. Congrats on the marriage. Yeah. Am I the only Catholic here?
I'm not Catholic.
I know you're not. So I think I'm the only one. Yeah. All right. So I get to speak from I guess the dominant standpoint here. He sucked, dude. He was like such a fucking heretic. Like he was the worst. Like the guy was for open borders. He was a commie. He was like for fucking super like trans and LGBTQ rights and shit like that. It was wild, crazy. Like I was like complete anti-Catholic ideology. And then of course, this is how I know I'm right. Because you go on Twitter and all the worst people in the world were like, we lost a good pope today. And I'm like, yeah, of course you would say that. You're a piece of shit. It's like the same exact accounts you would think that said that, you know?
Wow.
No other
Yeah,
takes.
I mean,
I don't think he's in the ground yet, and you're already crapping on your Pope.
it is funny because here's the thing: you don't want a pope that reads like political theory. You don't want that.
Right.
You just want like if the Pope has read any other book than the Bible, get him out. He's not going to do. He's not going to do the job he's required to do. There's a specific. It's a very niche job. You have to have very specific qualifications to do this job correctly. And reading Nietzsche and pondering, philosophical truths and Aristotle and Homer and all that. It's not your job. Leave that to people who are actually intelligent, and then gays who think they're intelligent. That's their job, and they do it okay. Don't veer into that domain. Allow yourself to thrive in one vertical. This is what people. This is the problem with today's society, and it's clearly sort of infiltrated Pope and religion. It's like everybody wants to be a master of everything. Nobody just wants to be one thing. They want to be a podcaster, an intellect, an author. They want to be a plumber and a carpenter and a rapist. There's just too many. Like you're spreading yourself too thin. And when you become the person who's championing open borders as a pope, you've taken the wrong exit on the highway. It's important to drive straight sometimes. Not a lot of people understand it. Yes, you want to veer out and you want to adventure and hone your skills in different facets of life, sure. But sometimes you just got to put cruise control on. You got to drive straight.
Do you know who Jared Taylor is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the pro white guy.
I
mean, he has a lot of good takes on a bunch of stuff, but like there was someone asked him one time, he's like, why don't you ever talk about the Jews? And he's like, because it only be a kook on one thing. He's like, I'm the pro white guy. I'm not the Jew guy. I'm only be a kook on one thing. If you're going to be a kook, do it one time and focus on that and don't worry about all the other stuff. someone
Yeah.
else will do it.
I agree. Old school autism, where you're just hyper focused on one thing, like fucking Dustin Hoffman and Rain Man, like numbers. Bam. Like you're just a numbers guy, not all this other shit. Also, the open borders thing for this Pope. You live in the Vatican City. It's a walled off city with your own military, and like no one's going through there. And but you'd be like everybody else though, let him in. It's like a crazy take to have, in my opinion.
Although
Anyway.
I will say it does kind of make sense that the one demographic the Pope comes to defend is Mexicans because they're Catholic as shit. And I tell you, this is how you can tell how Catholic a country is, how bullshit their fucking ghost videos are. The more crazy and bullshit like the ghost experience videos are in those countries, the more unbelievable they are, the more Catholic the country is. Like you can look up fucking whatever Mexican Google is, probably just Google. You can find like hundreds of cases of like local news doing stories on kids who are possessed. It is fucking crazy. And so the idea
It's
that
just like a gay kid.
it's clearly just a kid who maybe has autism, maybe ADHD, maybe he's just good at soccer. Nobody knows. Nobody really knows. And it's clearly it's a clear he is just maybe a little bit different. And they're like, well, he is possessed by Lucifer. And they'll send the local news out, and they'll send the local news anchor out. She's a field reporter in a very tight dress, and she's a very good-looking woman. And you don't really know if she speaks very articulately because I don't know Spanish, so you don't really know. But they cover it as a very, very serious and in-demand news story. The same way, New Jersey 12 covers a murder in Newark. It's
You're right.
wild.
You're right. I always imagine them reacting like in that scene in Signs when the alien first comes out behind the bush. That's every Mexican ghost video. It's like, also JC, real quick. Stand Up Live is pretty good in Phoenix if you're out there. Check that out. Yeah, it's just, I mean, I don't know. I have the list of the new popes that might be the Pope next. If you guys want to check that
Kanye.
out.
Kanye is the
Well,
next.
he's
pope.
leading. He's leading in the votes.
Hold on. Did you guys? You had to have seen the tweet today, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't that song that he put out today about watching adult films, if you will, with his cousin or something? Or
I'll
one of
I'll
his
tell you
cousins?
exactly what the fuck it's about. I'll read you the tweet. And by the way, the song, I am a huge Kanye fan as far as his music goes. Not
Same.
good. Not good. I thought it was not good.
Brother, he's fell off a long time ago with the music. I mean,
Yeah, when he got edgy and funny, I guess is where like his musical talent went off. You know, I gotta say, still one of the funniest things in the world is no, there's a lot of things that we love about Hitler.
Okay, so
A lot of things.
here's the word for word tweet. The song is called Cousins, about my cousin that's locked in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady a few years after I told him we wouldn't, quote, look at dirty magazines together anymore, unquote. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6, and then we acted out what we saw. My dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found in the top of my mom's closet were different. My name is Ye, and I sucked my cousin's dick till I was 14. Tweet sent.
that's the best part of it. And post. Eddie, are all rappers gay? All evidence points to you. Yeah, ever see that Tupac old video? Tupac just being all gay in the corner in that interview. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Pretty strange.
it's pretty fucking weird, dude. They're all, yeah, they are all gay. I agree with Eddie. Actually, they are all gay. It's very fucking gay. These are the popes for running right now, and I want to go through this list. So from Italy, they're graded from moderate to liberal to conservative. Cardinal likely to become pope. Cardinal Pietro Parolin from Italy, considered moderate against surrogacy and gender ideology. All right, moving.
That's-
all right.
That is moderate nowadays. God damn. Okay.
It's falling off, brother.
Well, you got to remember that in Italy they did ban surrogacy, which big ups to the Degas
wow.
over there, man. I dig it.
Shout out, my people. Then we got Cardinal Peter Erdu.
Well, you wanna go
from
back?
Hungary.
You'll go back.
I'm not calling back for you, brother. we already figured that one out, dude. Cardinal Peter Erdo from Hungary, conservative, with stances against refugee acceptance and liberal interpretations of church doctrine. All right, there we go. We're getting more and more along the lines of what we need back in the Catholic Church to be fucking cool and tough again. Next one, Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle from the Philippines. Liberal, also doesn't sound Filipino at all. Tagle, politically left-leaning, supporter of LGBT rights. Get him out. Get him out. I don't want that shit. Can't have that again. No good. No bueno. Next lib up from Italy, Cardinal Matteo Zuppi. Modernist and left-leaning, more liberal than Cardinal Tagle. More liberal than the guy who's supportive of LGBT rights? What the fuck does he...
Oh,
like,
Jesus.
What does that even mean?
Like AOC.
Yeah. Just giving out the Vatican wealth to all the fucking plebes on the street. All right, next we only got the only American in contest, Cardinal Raymond Leo Burke, which that sounds like a cool. Actually, no, he sounds like a fucking longtime baseball manager, like Raymond Leo Burke in his 23rd season with the Texas Rangers, like won 2 World Series before. He's an arch conservative, critical of Pope Francis's reforms. That's what we need. We need more of that.
Has there ever been an American Pope?
Negative. There's never been an American Pope.
Oh,
it's fucking racism.
Well, okay, so
bring him in, and all of a sudden there's sponsorships. There's like fucking Boeing. There's like Boeing signs plastered all over. It would be nice.
Now let me tell you about my sponsor, Northrop Grumman.
It would be nice to bring in like an American Pope who starts podcasting.
Dude, that'd be
sponsored by Blue Chew.
Yes,
Blue Chew, but only for fucking reproduction.
Yeah, only for married couples. You have to send your marriage certificate to get Blue Chew.
Dude, the sponsorship thing is so funny. Just to think of all like the garments the Pope wears, just like a NASCAR jacket, just fucking patches everywhere.
Sponsored by McDonald's.
So now, when they say an arch critical of the Pope Francis reforms, like how critical are we talking? Are we talking like 90s Democrat critical, or are we talking like, how far back is he willing to go?
That's a good question, Kyle. I don't know, but if he's against that, that's a step in the right direction. At least it's still better than what we had. I mean, you take what you get. Next guy, Cardinal Willem Jacobus Ejik from the Netherlands, known for strong conservative views, particularly on marriage. Sounds like he's going to get that gay shit out of there if he's in. Next from Ghana. Oh, our first black potential pope of the night. Cardinal
You've never had a black pope?
I don't think so, no. No, just a bunch of whites. Cardinal Peter Codwo Turkson, moderate against the criminalization of homosexuality. Wait, what?
He's yeah.
Okay.
To be fair, like Ghana moderate is American conservative. I'm pretty sure. I think that might be because he's a moderate. He's against throwing gay people in jail for the rest of their life. It's like, well, actually, it's like in Ghana, I'm pretty sure they're pretty rough on the gays. So if he's just anti-criminalization, it's like the people who are like, yeah, I don't want drugs to be legal, but we can decriminalize it. It's like that. It's like, yeah, don't make it illegal. Ingratiated into the culture. What are we doing? Dude, it doesn't have to be illegal though. It's like one of those scenarios.
Isn't Ghana the famous? Why are you gay? Isn't he from? Isn't that Ghana? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but it really could be a number of countries over there.
True.
I don't know.
It all blends together. Next one, Cardinal Malcolm Ranjith from Sri Lanka. Oh, that the fucking Vatican would smell like shit. He's a conservative. He's against LGBT rights and altar girls. Shit, you know what? That's my vote right now. Get these broads out of there. Gay sex only. And then the last one is Cardinal Gerhard Ludwig Mueller. Pretty good name. Germany, conservative, critical of Pope Francis.
That's who I want, dude.
Yeah, so that seems to be the running list right now.
I weirdly saw a lot of. I don't know anything. I'm not Catholic. I don't follow this stuff, but I weirdly saw a lot of support for the black guy. Like everyone was supporting the black
That
guy.
sounds like they're just doing it because he's black. I gotta be honest.
But these were like right wing accounts, like
Mm.
accounts that I like. They're the ones that are like more edgy than
Like
anyone else right
Like
now.
Tim Pool right leaning or like
No, farther. Keep going.
interesting.
Yeah, like Zach said, dude, he's African, so his probably stances on LGBTQ stuff is, let's just say, not American. Like, I don't think he's very supportive of that community.
They'll never give us an American Pope, dude. We're never getting that. They're gonna hold that from us forever. We're never getting a fucking American Pope for sure.
Now, what if it's taken? It's in
Now we're
like,
talking.
yeah, like
We're doing a
don't care,
regime
we're doing it.
change in the Vatican.
Dude, we just found out the Vatican has oil. We got
That would be of all things for America to do would be fucking flip the Vatican to Protestant. That would be. I mean,
It'd be so American.
if anything would work out, it would be fucking, because America is just horrendous at regime change. We're so bad at it. And we'd try to flip it Protestant, and then the Muslims would come in and take over, and you're like, fucking ISIS again? Jesus. Everywhere we go, we try to install a dictator, and then all of a sudden these fucking weird freaks come in and they take over.
ISIS
Dude,
part
is he on a
3.
safari? The fuck?
I don't know what he's doing. It's infuriating.
He's in
Also,
Ghana
like-
right now, lobbying the fucking
He's-
new prospective pope.
Lobbying for the Black Pope. He opened a prison bus in El
Listen, El
Salvador.
Salvador.
Yeah.
He's our on-scene reporter. We sent him down there, but the real goal is just to get him stuck in CCOT forever. He's gonna get fucking pounded out by fucking El Salvadorian MS-13 members. He is a twink, so they would love him down there. He'd
Yeah.
get passed around. Whew. He'd be prime meat, Sam, and CCOT.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he's got a woman driver. I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
Oh,
this is
yeah,
crazy.
Kill himself? It's crazy.
Yeah, Sam looks like he's about to get kidnapped by revolutionaries.
If his little bus gets raided right now, that would be hilarious.
Dude, oh, there's
I'm
the car
looking-
behind him. The car behind
I'm
him.
waiting to see. We got to look for the tattoos on the fingers because that's how you know they're in a gang. Apparently.
Yeah.
That's good enough for me, man.
It's amazing what
outta here.
Starlink has done to get him internet out there.
Yeah, he's really in the middle of Arizona right now. Like, what do you do? Oh, his legs are awful. Oh, they're so pale and gross.
Yeah, and there's no definition, no quad sweep. or anything.
Tongo ambush. Bro, it really does look like some fucking third world Civil War footage that's gonna pop out.
Have you
Easy
met
shooter
Sam,
order.
Zach?
Yes, multiple times.
Oh,
I'm sorry to hear that.
Okay. Gotcha.
It looks like he's gonna fire an RPG out of the back of the truck and drive away real quick.
Yeah, he looks like off a bad scene from Jack Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah, he likes to
Why
go on
is-
these little adventures and then come back and be like, yeah, these people are just like white people, but they're just like uncultured, you know?
This is like when the fucking. This is a real story, by the way. This is like when that white woman, to disprove racist claims
Mm.
about rape rates in Haiti, went to Haiti and hitchhiked and then just got raped and murdered.
Mhm.
I think it's just like it's what he's doing. It's like,
No, she didn't get murdered. She wrote an article about how it's white guys' fault that happened. That was
she did not get murdered.
she
She
did not
survived.
get murdered. She survived the multiple
Okay.
attempted. Not
How is
attempts.
it white people's fault?
Because of oppression typo. Get with
Oh.
it.
Because Hillary Clinton went down there and installed rape penises on Haitian men. Which, by the way, I don't think I don't know what the conspiracy is, or I don't even know what the real theory is. I know she did some shit. She was doing something down there. The Clintons did some weird, fucked up shit in Haiti.
They did. Oh, they kidnapped like a bunch of girls, I think, is like what the conspiracy is. Like they went down there was like the earthquake relief shit. The Clinton Foundation. That was it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then
It was something fucked up, something related to, if I'm not mistaken, some type of trafficking.
yes, correct. But yeah, this lady wrote a whole article. She's like, I was raped multiple times, but it's not their fault. It's their situation. It's the white man's fault. I was like, got it.
It's not their fault. I just have I have a gravitational pull on my fat white pussy. They can't help it. I enslave them with my fat white pussy.
Yeah, it's a wild article. Or how about that woman reporter went to India and she was like, "No, they're nice," and then she got gang raped too in India. Like it's like a
There's a
recurring
few
theme.
places
Yeah.
like there's a few places in the world that you just do not want to go as a woman, and for whatever reason, I don't know what the goal is to defend them by women, but it's like Haiti, India, Liberia is horrendous. Like you just do not want to go there. It's clear. There was I forget what African country it was, but there was a news reporter interviewing young men. It was like a group, like 2 or 3 young men, and they were asking them about the guy was asking them, it was like, do you think that rape is bad? And basically like they both like had just admitted to raping. I'm pretty I don't know if you've seen this, but like it's
Yeah.
like they're like is rape, it's clearly something that's been accepted in this culture. Do you think it's a good thing? And they're like, no, it's not a good thing, because God forbid you rape her and she gets pregnant and then the kid doesn't have a father. And the interviewer's like, yes, but the rape itself, like, is it a good thing? And they're like, it's probably not good either, because what if, God forbid she has some type of disease and it's not responsible. And it's like the interview is he's trying to like push them to this idea that it's clearly immoral, and they just do not, it's not registering to them that maybe they're brutally traumatizing an individual by raping them, and they just, for whatever reason, in that culture, it's like it's just not registering that they're like, maybe it's just bad because we shouldn't rape. It's like, well, maybe it's bad because she might get pregnant.
Well, maybe it's bad because they could suffer a
Yeah.
potential consequence.
It's
from
like
issue.
the same like consequences that like Americans weigh like sex out of wedlock. They're like, oh fuck, you get STD, you can get, like consensual
Yeah.
sex outside of marriage. You're like, oh god, she gets pregnant. Oh my god, that would be horrible. They're weighing those same consequences with rape. It's crazy. It's nuts.
I do, as a sports fan, I love the spin zone take on it though, where it's like, but have you thought about me possibly getting AIDS from this? No, you haven't.
It's true like a political way of doing it. They're like, so you raped 10 women. Do you think it's bad? And you're like, yeah, of course it's bad. Listen, you never know what's going to happen out there. Pregnancy is a possibility. STDs, God forbid. It's God forbid you put it in the fucking back door and that she shits. Who knows? There's a lot of this is a volatile activity that we're all taking a part in, and all we do is pray every time we go in, and that's all we can do. That's all you can do is pray.
It's like they're giving post-game speeches, like after basketball games. Like, just gotta thank the big man upstairs for letting me put up numbers tonight. Shout out, number 1 overall, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
It's crazy. It is. You know what's crazy? What was the statistic that was floating around? I don't think it floats around the same as it was years ago, but it was like 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 women on college campuses get raped. Wasn't that a thing that was going, or like 1 in 5 or something like that? And I remember hearing a statistic out of, I think it was Liberia, that like 60-70% of the women get raped. And of course it's in tandem with other grotesque figures, like 90% of the population has eaten another human. That they don't have running water. Like it's just like just a cavalcade of horrendous, grotesque statistics. And it's like, I remember hearing that and then thinking back to the college campus rape statistic, and I'm like, how are like UCLA bitches getting raped at the same rate of Liberian women who have no legal recourse? Like,
you know why? Because if they get looked at the wrong way, they're like, by the way, we're saying rape way too much. I was raped on a UCLA campus. Like that's why. Because it's liberal white woman, but as opposed to actual grape happening in Africa where it's real, not just that guy looked at me weird.
Yeah, nowadays it's basically like they have the term sexual harassment for pretty much anything. So they literally say any kind of touching that a person doesn't like is considered sexual harassment, and it's like, huh? Yeah.
Right.
What nutritional factors do I need to consider when eating people? I'm going to go over in Liberia and study, and I'll let you know. I think
the
they're
same
probably,
thing. Focus on
Yeah,
your
they're-
macros.
yeah, focus on your
Very
macros. If it
important.
fits your macros, bro. If you could fit a little bit more spleen in there, do it. But enjoy your ribeye steak. Your human ribeye.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. Also, yeah, shout out everybody. Please fucking like and subscribe, please, for the love of Christ. We said rape so much on this episode. There's no way we're getting pushed in the
I
algorithm.
apologize. You were
No,
nice
no,
enough
no.
to
We say
invite
it
me
too,
on.
but it just is one of those things. We just gotta get fucking like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe, everybody. For
Yeah.
the love of Christ, please.
So
Thank you.
YouTube thinks
That
we
like
didn't
button.
say anything that bad.
Yeah, yeah. If you guys like and subscribe, maybe they think we're not pieces of shit.
In all fairness, we are talking about rape in a candid way. We're not joking.
That's true. Zero jokes. YouTube.
We have not had any single rape jokes. We have simply been contextualizing statistics that have floated up in the political conversariat in the past. That's all we're doing.
Yeah, we're journalists. If anything, we should get a reward. Get us to 500
We're
subscribers.
a little bit
please.
more accurate than journalists.
Yeah, fair facts. Yeah, so that's pretty much the Pope news and the African grape news. I guess is their segment on this show. Start every week doing an African grape segment.
Man.
Well, I came. The only reason I came on here was to defend Douglas Murray. So
But have you been there?
it was a very interesting. You know what? I swore to myself I wasn't going to watch it because I saw so much of the shit on my Twitter before
Yeah.
I actually watched it, and I'm like, I don't even need to watch it at this point. And then I did watch it, and you know what's crazy? So Douglas Murray, for a lot of other topics, is pretty. He hits the nail on the head with like immigration and woke shit and LGBTQ. Like he's very he's on the ball with a lot of it, and so it's very interesting to see sort of the fork in the road when it comes to the right wing right now. And I've always, it's very easy to see the separation in the fork in the road with the left because it's been happening, right? We've seen the Squad versus fucking Chuck Schumer, right? We've
Yeah.
seen the establishment versus the progressive left for quite a long time now. I do think during Trump's second term, we've seen an exacerbation of the fissure between the two sects of the right. And it's sort of become magnified with the rise in popularity of libertarianism. And it is odd how quickly and how emotionally reactive what I would consider the establishment right is to, the more populist / libertarian right. When I watched the debate, there was nothing really surprising about it. Everybody was like, "Oh, Douglas Murray seemed arrogant." It's like, yeah, well, that's kind of his, that's
It's
sort of
shtick.
his approach to debates, and it works a lot of times. So it wasn't shocking that he did that. What was shocking was the meltdown that multiple establishment right wingers had on X after the debate. Like, who was the main one that I fucking James Lindsay?
Oh, he's such a fat bitch, dude.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
He was clearly very emotional about it, and all he did was tweet and tweet and tweet. It's like it clearly consumed him to a point where you can only really analyze his behavior as sort of a practice in damage control. It's a very bizarre thing. I just have not seen that before. And this really exposed, I think, a decent amount of people who have an understanding that they're losing the support of right wingers in the endless war conversation, in the Israel conversation, in the anti-Trump populist conversation, like those who were like super Ron DeSantis and then got pissy when he dropped out type. It's like I haven't seen it before, and it's rearing its ugly head. It's not good. It bodes no good. Forecast for the right. Everybody is like, oh, the left's cooked. Oh, nobody supports the left. Nobody supports the left. They can't win they're not going to win a goddamn election for the next 20 years. It's like, yeah, okay, but take away Trump right now, and now you have basically libertarians and populists versus like,
A fractured left.
a fractured left. And then you have these weird neocons who may be willing to partner with a moderate left. Like, I don't know. It's a very bizarre paradigm, and it was very funny because people were like, "Well, what do you think about the Douglas Murray Dave Smith debate?" I was like, it wasn't about the debate; it was about the reaction. You should have been paying attention to the reaction because the reactions were fucking wild.
Yeah.
I kind of to this point, I track with you somewhat, but I think the Trump phenomena has included now a lot of people who kind of melded themselves into the right, who were like major neocon figures for the longest time, where the saying MAGA, Make America Great Again, is such a big tent that it's essentially meaningless at this point. So like the right today, I see people doing this all the time where people are saying, oh, well, they're using libertarian, dissident right language. Look at JD Vance saying this stuff that's our language. And then libertarians are saying, look at Elon Musk saying these libertarian things. It's like everybody's trying to like pick from this metaphorical corpse. Although it's not necessarily a corpse, but like Trump's on his last term, and who's going to inherit MAGA? Who knows at this point? Because like I said, there's all these neoconservative types that have basically aligned themselves into Trump's orbit, where, you have Mike Waltz, Marco Rubio, Ron DeSantis came out and endorsed Trump. Frank Gaffney was a, huge neocon that's, very, very allied with Trump. Howard Lutnick, a lot of these people who are very, very pro foreign intervention, and they disagree on like the margins, but on like the vast majority of stuff, they agree. So, we are in an interesting spot, but I don't know what the left could necessarily do to bring it back. But at the same time, I don't discount that there's an outlier somewhere, somehow, that we're just not seeing right now. There's a lot of people that I follow on like more of the anti-war left kind of scene that are saying it's AOC 2028 for sure. But she has the name recognition, but I don't know if she has that same factor like Bernie had back in 2016. And Gavin Newsom, after, the wildfires and just how California has gone completely downhill over the last decade, I just don't see him as a viable candidate. So, and like JD Vance is competent, he speaks well, but I don't know if he's necessarily presidential material. And maybe I'll be proven wrong, but the heir to the throne and what's going to happen in 2028 to me is still very, very unclear. And it largely depends on how Trump does over these next, 3.5 years. And judging by the first month of Trump was great, but then the following months have been very, very downhill. Like, he lost his momentum very, very fast. And I was, saying pretty much up to the election that I thought it was going to be all downside risk. It was going to be, same as usual. Didn't look like that at first, but now it's starting to look like he's going back to like 2017 Trump of just, we're just going to sign whatever comes across the desk and no mass deportations. I'm going to campaign like, the most ardent, border hawk, right winger, anti-war, almost Ron Paul style kind of figure. But then I'm going to govern like Barack Obama from 2008.
Yeah, and like Kyle, like you're right, and this isn't even a defense to Trump because I agree with everything you just said. Like the first month was great, but what happens if Kamala was president? Like, what I'm like, it's
right.
It's like so much worse.
Yeah,
here's the thing. I do agree that it would be so much worse, but also Trump's targeting American citizens who were protesting Israel.
Agreed.
What?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Fuck.
Well,
yeah.
See,
by the way, I think it's probably it's more likely that the war with Israel and Palestine and Russia and Ukraine would be more escalated with Kamala, because she would have followed down the path of the Joe Biden regime, which was just Anthony Blinken and Lloyd Austin and Victoria Nuland, and but this idea that like, this is a fucking free speech candidate, fucking like the idea that we're targeting anti-Israel protesters, the idea that like they're making the grounds for, and by the way, I don't mind that Harvard doesn't get fucking federal funding anymore.
Right.
It's my wet dream.
Yeah.
But the idea that what
Yeah.
pushed Trump over the edge to
Right.
get to that fucking idea is that they had protests against Israel. It's like I truly at this point give a little fucking political strategy here, folks. Doesn't matter if you're on the right or the left. You probably at some point or another took money from AIPAC. Yes, I know that. Very few refused it. Do they maybe have something on you? Maybe some type of blackmail. Maybe, probably. They're very good at that. It's what they're historically known for. It's what the Jewish mob was known for. It's what the Mossad is known for. It was, and obviously the Jewish mob was very involved in help establishing a Jewish state in the Middle East.
It's synonymous, the Jewish mob and the Mossad. It's the same. It's the same fucking
Yes.
thing.
So, shout out Mo Dalitz. Rest in peace. Rest in power. Rest in power, Mo Dalitz. And Meyer Lansky. Just admit it. Whatever they have on you, just come out and admit it. Just say, hey, I cheated on my wife with a hooker. We did anal. She shat on my dick. I got this weird disease. My penis blew up to the size of a fucking bowling ball. It was like a series of injections I had to get to finally, but we're fine now. I pee a little bit weird. I pee at like a 45-degree angle. It's a little bit weird, but I'm fine. But I'm not going to be blackmailed by the Mossad anymore. Here's what's happening. And if you just had one person who was willing to do that, they've already polled people. 65% of people do not support Israel. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have this untapped political market that everybody's terrified to make the leap for. And I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure if you came to me and said, hey, listen, yeah, I had sex with a guy. All right. I had sex with a guy. I didn't know it was a guy until it was over. Did it feel amazing? Yes. Am I going to do it again? Yes. Am I questioning my sexuality? Yes. Am I going to leave my wife of 14 years and ruin my family? We're going to fracture a family and going to fuck up the kids? Yes. But I need this. I need this in my life. I've never had the tightest, sweetest asshole I've ever had in my life. Okay. That's fine. I don't give a shit. That's fine. If you want that tight, sweet asshole where you could bounce a penny off of it and it'll come right back at you like a fucking, like remember one of those nets where you throw the baseball at it, but you could play catch with yourself.
Yeah.
You throw it and then the net would shoot it back at you. I don't care. Admit what you whatever they have on you, admit it. And then just say you're not going to stand for it anymore. And then just say, I'm not going to lobby for it. I'm not going to continue to support this interventionist policy that really only benefits Israel. It certainly does not benefit America. There's this and again, 65%. It's just hanging there. It's just low hanging. It's like a fucking bundle of bananas. You just fucking right there. Just fucking pick it. That's all you got to do. You got to pick it. That's all you got to do. And all you have to do on this day after Easter is fucking repent. Just whatever you did, admit it. And everybody's going to be. Anthony Weiner sent fucking pictures of his penis to an underage child. He's got a fucking radio show on WABC in New York.
With his
Well,
baby
yeah, and then
next
what-
to his erect dick.
Yeah, what the hell was it? Governor Cuomo was saying, "Oh, it's New York love, it's New York tough." After he groped a bunch of women, and
Yeah.
then basically admitted to it.
Yeah.
People, it's
Nobody cares.
people forget things so quickly.
Yeah,
And if listen, fucking OJ Simpson, after he got out of prison, had a Twitter following of like millions and was making videos daily on the golf course.
oh,
and
he
you know
still
what?
goes
I
out
follow
with
him.
women that look just like Nicole Simpson, or whatever the hell her name
Yeah.
is, all the time.
Dude, people forget. Just come out and admit whatever the Mossad has on you, and then say, "I won't stand for it anymore."
Yes, Luke.
Just do it. Just do it. You have it. It's right there. It's right there for the taking. You have this beautiful, beautiful, untapped fucking. It's the fountain of youth. These 65%.
Yeah, well, like Trump could be the one to pull this off too, because his whole thing was America first. But the problem is that obviously a lot of his donors don't want that. But and I've thought about this for a while, and maybe this is my own naivete and optimism, but I do think that funding Israel is going to be a conversation in 2028. I'm not saying it's going to be off the table. I'm not saying we're not going to send money to Israel by 2028. But what I'm saying is that people are like presidents are going to have to start talking about this, because you can't keep slaughtering children in HD day after day after day after day for the average person to see and just expect them to say, well, this is normal. We send billions of dollars over here to do this. And then, in 38 different states we have laws. Down in Texas, they literally made people sign a pledge to not criticize Israel in order to receive aid from the hurricane. Now, granted, this was back in 2017, but I'm sure this still happened today, just a couple months ago when they were trying to divvy out aid. And, also when you have the wildfires in California, and then like I was just talking about the hurricanes, and then you see Joe Biden out there saying that he wants to send all this money to Ukraine and Israel. And then Trump has sent $12 billion to Israel over 3 months. I think people begin to ask questions like, okay, well, we can't afford to have families in America. You campaigned on mass deportations, and yet we somehow found $12 billion to send to Israel while infrastructure is crumbling, and the average American is saying, yeah, we can't have kids because it's just too much for us. I think people eventually feel like they're getting ripped the fuck off, and they want something to change.
Yeah, and Zach, to go off, Coase 1973 over here said this too, but he's like about the blackmailing stuff. He's like, it's not gonna be cheating on your wife. It's gonna be something worse than that. I agree, because like the whole MK13 shit started with not MK13, Jesus Christ, the MK Ultra shit started with like when they were like drugging politicians in San Francisco, right, and shit like that. Not MK Ultra, but the other operation, whatever the fuck it was, like a raindrop, whatever the fuck it was called. They were like drugging politicians with acid in San Francisco, and they were like banging out hookers. And they were like, we caught you cheating on your wife. And that was like a big deal back then, right? In like the 70s.
Wasn't it Operation Midnight Climax?
Yeah, that was it. Whatever it was. I don't know why I said raindrop. But yeah. You're right. It's that one. So
Operation Rolling Fields.
But now no one really cares about that, right? Like if you cheat on your wife, like people are like, yeah, whatever. Who gives a fuck? Then it goes to like, what's next? Oh, you're on an island somewhere with a bunch of fucking 12-year-olds. That's the big one.
Yeah, but
right?
Clearly nobody cares about that either.
Well, we do. We just us four. Nobody but
cares
the average
about
person.
that,
My point is, yes. But let's say there's a politician running, and he was not supported by AIPAC, and he was talking mad shit in Israel, and they did some digging, and they're like, "Hey, man, here's some footage of you fucking a kid." We'd all be like, "Well, that guy's out, right?"
Sure.
But if that guy was like, "Hey,
Maybe. We can talk about it.
how old was the kid?"
Hold on. What was she wearing? Makeup.
But if that same person was like, they're like, we have a video of him fucking his wife. We're like, yeah, but does he still hate Israel? Then we're still going to support this guy. Like, we don't care about that thing. There's levels to it, is my point.
Well, do you think the biggest threat is just like they'll kill you?
Yes, that's the ultimate one, right? That was the other part. Is
Like,
if
I
you're
don't know
like,
if they could get away with
AIPAC
it.
money.
Yeah, I don't
sorry.
know if they could get away with it as much today. Because, like, I mean, if there was one, let's just say staunch, whatever, Republican that came out that, like, more than Thomas Massey. Like, Thomas Massey's just, like, principle. Like, I don't believe in foreign aid at all. He doesn't really rail against Israel. He kind of rails against AIPAC, but he's really just like, I don't believe in foreign aid. But if someone like Republican came out and was, like, staunch against Israel, like, railing against them, and then that person ended up dead, I mean, whatever, he could have been an accident, but like half the internet's going to be like, Israel did this, like he died because.
Well, look at how people are talking about Thomas Massey's wife, who I believe had cancer. Everyone's go, Israel did it, and like I don't know where I fall on that. If I'm being honest, I kind of doubt it. I feel like it was probably just like, maybe she got
maybe it was maybe it was just her eating Roundup. Maybe it's just the fact that we eat Roundup every day.
Yeah, down in
like,
Kentucky.
You don't have to really reach. You don't have to grasp at straws for that one. We're eating Roundup every day. I'm pretty sure that we've got the conclusion.
Yeah, either that or all the electric batteries just humming all the time from.
Kyle, to be fair, the KGB poisoned that guy in England. Remember that shit? They radioactive poisoned that guy. This is a few years ago. This is like mid 2000s, where they had like he was like a ex KGB agent, but he escaped to like England and he was in the hospital. And they started sneaking in and fucking poisoning him with like radioactive shit. And he died in the hospital. So it can be done, If the KGB could do it, I'm sure the Mossad could do it.
By the way, thank you to the person. I don't know who said it, but they said they
Yeah,
like
right
my
here.
World Mall idea. Thank you. I brainstormed that very heavily, and I appreciate
All
that.
right, hold on. I have to share this because it just came across my Twitter.
Okay. Is this breaking news?
Can you pull it
Yeah.
up?
That's funny.
Yeah, I thought that
For
was
anybody listening, it's a fuck, marry, kill meme with the couch for fuck, JD Vance's wife for marry, and the Pope for kill for all the audio listeners out there.
that whole couch story was ridiculous, but at least
course it was.
funny. Yeah.
Did he fuck a couch? Did he say he
That's
fucked a
what
You
couch?
they
didn't hear
said.
about that? Yeah,
No.
it was like the first story that they tried to like pull off about JD Vance is saying that in a book allegedly he said that he fucked a couch or something like that.
Oh, and
So-
his hillbilly elegy, whatever the
Yeah.
that book
Who
was.
hasn't fucked a
Yeah,
couch?
I don't know if he
Bro.
actually said that, but yeah, they
Dude,
tried to like spin that
What
up
the
into
fuck
something.
else are you gonna have sex with in Ohio? This is. Here's the thing.
I lived in Ohio for a year and a half, so I can vouch for that. That a couch may be more enjoyable.
You're in a state that has been completely deconstructed by the opiate epidemic. Steel's gone. Coal's gone. The Browns suck. The Bengals are on and off. LeBron left. What the fuck do you have? Yeah, the Indians were good for fucking in 2019.
The Reds are bad.
The Reds have never been good.
Never been good.
What do? You have two choices. You either slowly murder yourself with opiates, or you have sex with a couch, marry an Indian, and you get the fucking VP spot. You do one of two things. There's only a few, and like I said, this is what I talk about. You just say, oh, you want to be a master of all three things. You want to be a fucking dancer and a singer and an actor and a fucking porn star, and you want to do all these things. Focus on one thing. You can do one or two things in Ohio, and pick one of them, and be really good at it. You can be a really good opiate addict. You can be really, really good at it. Okay? The more opiates you do, the better you'll be at it. The more Indians you have sex with, the more memes you allow yourself to be made out of, the more political stump rallies you do, the better you'll do. Focus on one thing, folks. Okay? In Ohio, you can do one of those two things. In Portland, you can be a liberal mayor who gets caught having sex with a student, right? You could do that. Or you could be a homeless person who gets caught having sex with a student. You can do a lot of things. In California, you can be somebody who gets taxed at a high rate and also puts a needle in their arm. Or you could be a mayor who eats the French Laundry every night and gets taxed at a high rate and also puts a needle in his arm. There's so many things. See, but this is what I'm telling people. This is a general piece of advice. Find something you're decent at and develop that. Don't try to jump around. And the Pope, again, we just had a Pope meme. The Pope he had his hands in too many whatevers. You know, I'm
Pots.
talking about. Yeah, he was talking about immigration. He was talking about the LGBTQ movement. He was talking about Israel and Palestine. He was talking about Ukraine. He was talking about all these things. Just ease up. Find one thing and develop it.
Yeah. I
Okay.
agree.
If you're into woodworking, do woodworking. Okay? Don't try to go and direct traffic. Just do woodworking. Okay? Enough. You don't have to be the person who does everything. You don't have to be the guy who has a fucking. By the way, here's the fact of the matter, folks. And I know that this is very troublesome for a lot of you to hear. Your hot take on politics isn't very hot. It's not very intellectual. Mine aren't. And I can tell you this because this is coming from somebody who has no hot takes whatsoever. I'm mentally retarded. Okay.
That's why you're here.
Your opinions aren't very bright. They're not in any way, shape, or form transcendent. They mean nothing. Get off Twitter. And maybe try to develop a relationship with your family again, or like reconnect with your kids. Do something of value for yourself. Stop commenting about immigration at the dinner table. Stop getting your fucking weird liberal cousin fired up about LGBTQ. Just let her be weird. Just let her be weird and have a lip ring. Okay? Eventually there's going to be a weird magnet that fucking hooks onto it. She's going to get consequences for that. Don't worry about it. Okay?
Man, he said, I want to be racist on Twitter.
I know you want to be racist on Twitter, but it's important to listen. If anything, you got to pick one of the. If you're going to be racist, do it specifically. Find one race you don't like. Find a group of that race in your life, and be racist toward them. 2 or 3. That's all a man can handle. Find 2 or 3 people to be racist to consistently. Leave the rest alone. Specificity is important in life. It's important. You can't be racist to the whole world. You just can't. You can't say, I hate Indians. It's like, well, there's not enough Indians. If you just disperse your energy to all the Indians, you're not going to be offensive enough. Find 2 or 3.
In real life.
Racist
in real life too, not on Twitter.
It's funny, Zach, because you said about your like LGBTQ. I was at Easter yesterday back in my homeland of Staten Island, and I have this one cousin who's just such a fat fucking loser retard, and he's like super liberal. And my mom was like, listen, he's gonna be there, so don't start shit. And I was like, nah, I won't. But then I immediately decided I was gonna start shit because it was funny for me. And I just started being like, these deportations got to go up, huh? And just watching him like seethe in the corner, be all fat and breathe hard. It was fun for me. So like, it's hard to not do that, but I do get what you're saying.
The one that I usually, for the most part, I'm not the one that usually has to bring up the stuff that pisses the liberals off. But I do remember I was at maybe it was like the 4th of July one year, and my girlfriend's uncle started talking about how the Jews knew about 9/11. And my girlfriend is half Jewish. Her mother on her mother's side is Jewish, but my uncle married in, or not my uncle, her uncle married in, and so he's Puerto Rican, and he's just Puerto Rican for the Bronx. Does not, there's zero, whatever. You can't call him racist because then he'll just go, I'm racist. No, I'm not. It's not allowed. So he started spouting off about how the Jews knew about 9/11 like a week before, and all I did was ask him to expand. That's all I did. That's all I did. And here's what you do: you find one family member who's willing to do that, and then you egg them on. You don't do it.
Yeah,
that's good. That's a good.
You
piece of
push
advice.
them to do it, because then when they say like, well, why would you do it? And I was like, why would I do what? I was being inquisitive. I was curious. I did nothing. I said nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I was asking questions.
That's a good. I'm gonna try that next holiday. I go to.
Although according to Douglas Murray, just asking questions is no longer a viable.
Yeah, you can't do that. There's a guy at work.
Have you been there?
He's an older guy. I think he's like late 40s, early 50s. I don't know. I don't really talk to these guys about politics that much, but he said something about like the Jews, and he's like, yeah, I heard the Jews like run the world. And I was just like, what do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean? And he's like, that's what I heard. I'm like, where do you hear that?
Honestly, that's about how far I would take it to. I would like literally, that's how you drop like the bomb. I hear fucking Jews run the media, and they go, who told you that? And you go, that's just what I hear around. It's just, it's just fucking. Where'd I hear it from? Through the grapevine, brother. Who the fuck? What do you mean? It's like, what do you mean? What do you mean Jews run the media? It's like, I just don't know. They run it. That's all. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, sometimes you're right. It is a good idea just to throw that grenade in the mix and just sit back and watch the chaos, and you don't have to fucking directly get involved. That's actually kind of brilliant. I wish I had the foresight to do that yesterday, but I didn't. I was just being a shit stir.
I'll be right back. I got to piss.
Go for it. It is fun to shit stir at family events. Like, I'm for it. I do it all. I've done it a lot. I've done it. I did it yesterday. I just saw him fat in the corner. I was so mad. I was like, I'm just gonna go talk shit.
My family's like all like conservative. Like, I don't think I mean, there's like one
Yeah.
cousin that doesn't really come around anymore that would be the lib that we'd make fun of, but they just complain about the Dems, and it's just like a ritual. Like, did you hear they're doing this? Did you hear they're doing
goddamn
that?
Democrats. That's all. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
like-
again, my
yeah.
family is mainly Italians from Staten Island, so it's like they're conservative. But you know, we have the one who's like, Obama
you get
was
the
a
one
good president,"
cousin-
and you're like, "Shut up,
Yeah.
fag."
The one cousin that got a degree in like something and had like hardly ever comes around, like one Easter or one Thanksgiving a year, they come around and you're like,
But
okay.
this is the same cousin, and this is what it drives me crazy. He is he got so much fatter since last time I saw him, which is crazy. Like, he's so fat. He's so fat. He got married years ago. His wife's actually very nice. Also a pig, though. Like, so it's like two pigs, but she is very nice. But he was living at home with his mom after he got married still. And I'm like, you don't get to have opinions on the world if you're doing that. You just don't. Like, you don't get to tell me what I believe is wrong when you're living at home married. It's fucking pathetic. Get a job. Have you tried getting a job as a man supporting your wife? It's like shit like that drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You
we
know?
got something like that in my family.
That's what I'm
too.
saying. It's nuts. And you're like,
Just-
what are you talking about?
His wife works, he just stays home. Like, it's just kind of like, what are you doing, man? This is weird.
I remember this is going back a few years, but his father passed away. He was a nice guy.
Yeah. You look at him
And,
as less than a man.
Yeah, 100%. But this is, again, go back a few years. We were at his father's funeral, and where we were going to like this like nice dinner afterwards. And I was like super excited for it because, you know, funerals suck, and I like wanted like at least a good dinner out of this funeral. And we're walking out of the church, and he's behind us, and I'm just shit talking to my dad. Like, you know, because my dad and I both hate this guy. It's like, this fucking loser is going to be at dinner with us. Obviously, it's his dad who died. And out of nowhere, he goes, ah, and like passes out and has like a seizure out of nowhere.
What?
And I just turned to my dad. I'm like, oh, man, we're not going to get to this dinner, are we? And he just started, he just started busting out laughing. I had to like walk away with him. I had to like usher him out. Like, we can't laugh in front of this. This is bad. This is bad optic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't help but laugh when my wife is telling me stories about one of the people that drives like the ambulances, and he drives like a fucking maniac. And she said there's fucking patients sitting there in the back doing one of these while they're fucking strapped into a stretcher, just
Yeah.
fucking flying around all over the back.
Yeah, Matt, we talked about the lizard pope in the beginning. Sorry. Go back
Yeah,
and let's
go
do
back.
it.
We're gonna
shit
get
on
a
him
black
immediately.
pope. Let's change.
Yeah, we might get
the
a black
shit.
pope out of it. So there's that.
Black people do have this like, it's not right. It's just the nature of the world we live in today. But they have this ability of like, they get to be more right wing on stuff than like white people.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I
and,
mean?
and
Wait,
catch no
wait.
shit for it.
Oh, you mean like they
Yeah.
can just say whatever they want and we don't push back because whites are afraid of them?
Well, no, I'm saying is like okay, you'll notice this with like some Con Inc. types. They'll bring in a black guy and he'll talk about, you know, the black community, but like none of the white hosts will ever bring this stuff up. But the black guy on there can talk
Yeah.
about the black community and like the issues in the black
Oh,
community.
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so what?
He's
Yeah,
allowed.
what would people say if you started saying, well, we need to focus on the white community and build our white friends and white businesses up? People would look at you and probably call you a Nazi.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly
is like if we
that.
do get a black
Right.
pope, like he kind of gets more leniency to be like, listen, we're not down with these gays. Like this is we're getting this
Yeah,
out of the
we're-
church.
Yeah,
And
you
why
guys
not
know
you
how
gay?
they talk about Muslims throwing them off the roof. Yeah, we do that here too.
yeah, yes.
There's
like
going to be a
something like
splash
that.
zone at the Vatican. You got to wear a fucking poncho.
Fucking splash. You know they have how they have nets in China allegedly. Yeah, we're not having those here.
I did see a lot of people asking to Mel Gibson if he would be the next pope. So
Oh, I'd support it.
Well,
I think I
after-
said
said
converted
it
to
earlier,
Catholicism.
but they're right. If you're a baptized Catholic, you could be the Pope. There's no like rule where you have to be like a cardinal or anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could just be the Pope. Like, if you get voted in, like they could vote me in as the Pope. Leave like Adam Nutter based fucking new Pope. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, there's no rhyme or reason. It's just
Oh,
they
really?
have-
If you're just baptized,
yeah, if you're baptized Catholic, yeah, you could just be the Pope. I'm pretty sure.
interesting.
Yeah.
So like the
No, you have to be ordained
vote,
clergy.
you
Oh,
can-
do you? I
you-
thought you could just be like if you're voted in. Okay, I could be wrong, but I thought I was right. I guess I'm wrong.
So
Take
it
back
has
what I
to be a
said.
cardinal, or can it just be like
Could it be a priest?
Yeah.
So you could just pope guys. We gotta look this up. We need a fucking. I wish Stan was here. It would actually do his fucking job instead of take fucking weird tourism.
Yeah, trips down El Salvador.
Well, will my first 100 days in office be? I'm definitely installing that splash zone. I'll tell you that much right now. If I'm the Pope, we're getting that splash zone. We're getting rid of any. Well, actually, that's more of a Protestant thing. You don't really see LGBT like the pride flags outside of Catholic churches. That's a Protestant thing. It's you motherfuckers who do that shit.
Yeah,
No,
that
you're
is
right. You're right,
the
Adam.
new
It's
age.
according to Google.
Yeah.
Any
Sorry.
baptized man.
Here's the thing though. I believe that the churches themselves become quite liberalized in Protestantism, but also you meet like a 45-year-old white Catholic woman. Oh, she's so liberal all the fucking
Yeah.
time.
Well,
God.
yeah. I mean, essentially, the Allies kind of went to war against the Vatican. I mean,
Yeah. fact.
they said it was unintentional, but they did hit him a few times.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I was agreeing with you.
Yeah.
By the way, with religion, with Christianity in general, it's like at this point, the corruption, however you want to view the corruption, whether it's raping little boys or literally just abandoning all of its fundamentals, at this point, it's like Protestantism versus Catholicism. Who gives a fuck? Find somebody who's even close to the fucking fundamentals
Yeah.
and just put them in. Who cares? You fucking put Malcolm X in. I don't give a shit. He's probably closer to Christian fundamentals than any other fucking Pope candidate these days. Jesus Christ. And he was
You're
a
right.
Muslim.
It's
like-
I looked it up. It says, in theory, any baptized Catholic male is eligible to be elected pope. However, since 1378, every pope has been chosen from the College of Cardinals. So, wrong, Rex. I can be the pope. Get it going.
No, I don't think you can. You got a lot of tattoos, and I do.
That's not
think-
against Catholicism.
I think it is.
No, it's not.
Are you sure?
What is this,
Positive.
Vatican II? Is this Vatican II or Vatican I?
Vatican II says I can have all the cool tattoos I want. Zach.
It's like Vatican II. What is like the arcade version of?
It's Vatican II
Vatican
Electric
one?
Boogaloo, and I get to do whatever I want. No, no, tattoos aren't like a sin. That's Judaism, and ew. So
Mhm.
we don't follow that here. But yeah, so I can be the Pope.
Interesting.
I would also
That is really-
invade a neighboring country if I was
Yep.
the Pope.
that
right?
would be like bring imperialism to Vatican.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, use a Swiss Guard for a reason. Because Luke asked me what I would do my first 100 days: install a splash zone, and then fucking we're invading in like Morocco or something small. Monaco, that's small. We'll invade Monaco.
You'll
Send the
start
Swiss
another
Guard over there.
crusade.
Dude, Crusades Part 3, that'd be fucking dope. We gotta bring the Crusades back.
You know what's
I think.
crazy? At this point, my Instagram reels they're literally just King Baldwin videos from the they're just King Baldwin videos.
It's a lot of
It's
King
like-
Baldwin, Christianity,
it's
Hitler
literally-
edits. I get it all.
It's King Baldwin, bodybuilder videos, racists, and then like breastfeeding videos. So
Breastfeeding?
Yeah,
just
you
all
watch
it
one.
is.
You watch one titty girl on
Dude,
any
it's
Facebook reel,
crazy.
It
and you
floods
don't even
your
you-
algorithm.
You don't even search for it. You get one breastfeeding video, and they show nip. Like that's their whole thing. Like they sneak it in as porn,
Yeah, it's
basically, where they're like educational. But if you spend more than 1 second on a breastfeeding video on Instagram, that's your timeline. That's your whole
Yeah.
reels.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
the
with
same
everything.
thing with
Yeah.
like OnlyFans girls. If you get one of them that come across your timeline, the
Yeah.
next like 4 edits.
Oh, I
you're
know.
like,
I had for
my God.
weeks. I was working very hard. It was very, very attractive women who would go from top to bottom, and then it was dick in the. That's all. Like it was just very, very passable trans women who wouldn't reveal the bottom half of their body until halfway through the fucking video, and so it'd be like, this fucking OnlyFans slut. What is she up to? Oh, okay, all right.
No, what you gotta do, you gotta cleanse the timeline. You just gotta look at puppy videos. And
And then, by the way,
cleanse your
littered just throughout. The only thing that's been very consistent throughout my timeline, whether it's bodybuilding or King Baldwin or whatever, the cat videos have been fairly consistent. So they
steady
have been
staple.
yes, they have been my rock throughout the volatile fluctuation in my Instagram reel trends. Yeah, it is crazy because it's like at first it starts with what your interests are, and then it does this weird, like, at first you start believing it. You're like, you get like 6 breastfeeding videos, and you're like, am I into fucking breastfeeding, or is this just what they're doing
Yeah.
to me? And then it's like, at first I was like, for like the first like 6 or 7 trans women videos, I was like, fucking gay shit. I can tell my girlfriend is 6 years. I don't know how I'm gonna I don't know how I'm gonna tell her to grow a dick. I don't know. And then all of a sudden you realize it's like, it's the same thing. It's like a shoehorning thing that they just try. They just try things out. They just throw things
Yeah.
up, and then based on your retention of the video, even if you're not interested, if you happen to linger on a video, they go, oh well, then he's
Yeah.
very interested, and then they just flood your shit with it. It's a nightmare.
It is a fucking no. I agree. It's the worst. I mean, I don't watch porn for a lot of reasons, but one of them is because of that Pete Holmes bit where he was like, you can't help what you're into. Like, your brain can't help it. So if you watch like a weird video of like, 2 fucking pregnant chicks squirting cum on each other, like, oh, I'm getting hard from this. Fuck, now I'm into this now.
Yeah.
I gotta go look up fucking. It's like, it's like you can't help
like-
what makes you horny.
No,
Yeah, it's like right after you get off, you're watching it. Now you're actually physically getting sick. You're like, oh god, what am I watching?
it is crazy to see like a woman forcing milk out of her
Yeah.
breast, and then the next thing is like Thomas Sowell talking about you're like, what the fuck is happening to me? You're like,
Oh, I've seen that video too, Matt. The several videos about the fake girls with Down syndrome. It's like they're like gym thirst trap videos of like hot chicks, but they have a Down syndrome filter on the hot
Really?
chick. Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, I'm downs with that. And I'm like, okay.
you know what it is? I actually this is the law of diminishing returns. You have seen so much of the normal girls getting fucked just on the like Pornhub or whatever. You've seen so much of it that you at this point you're not even looking for something that you're attracted to. You're just looking for something different.
Oh, for sure.
New.
So you see, like,
Yeah.
I guess I haven't seen the Down syndrome. That's fucking wild. But
yeah. Yeah,
like,
once
the
you
idea-
get
like,
into like midget amputee porn, it's something.
Yeah. Well,
something's
this is
wrong.
Stash's comment. I stopped watching porn because it kept pushing incest interracial shit on me. I think that's part of the Jewish.
I think okay. Well, just so you know, Stash here. The bad thing is the incest, not necessarily the interracial. I get where you were going. I listen. I love to be descriptive. I think the bad thing is the incest. And by the way, here's the issue, because I'm not gonna absolve myself of this. The stepsister shit's pretty good. I'm just.
Are your parents still together?
No.
There you go.
That's probably why.
That's
That's
why.
probably why.
No, and they and not only are they not together, I never remember them being together because they got divorced when I was like 1 or 2. So, and I did have, unfortunately, not very attractive stepmothers. Not even
Did you have
stepmothers.
Any attractive stepsisters or dads?
I had no.
girlfriends?
At one point there was what would have been considered, they weren't, because my dad never remarried, but what would have been considered my stepsister's friend, who was I can't imagine, like, looking back in my memory, she seems attractive, but I'm sure if I looked at her now, she wouldn't have been. She was like, she was like fucking North Rapid City, South Dakota trash, you know. But she was like, she would flirt with me, and she was like 3 or 4 years older than me, so she would flirt with me, and so I remember like that being a thing. Like, oh wow, that's like I would sit. We had like a family computer. Like, we didn't have laptops. It was just like the desktop back then.
Yeah.
And so I'd be on there doing whatever the fuck, playing games. And then I remember one time she came into the apartment, and like wrapped her hands around, like she like hugged me from behind and like ran her hand kind of down close. And I remember she's like, I forget what she said, whatever the fuck she said. And then I remember that being like an ignition to masturbation, like that memory being that like the turnkey thing for a very long time.
I definitely envisioned women hotter when I was younger than probably what they really were.
For sure, dude.
Right? That's like a common dude boy growing
teachers,
up. Yeah.
Like, you go back, you could look at your teachers that you thought were hot. They're just disgusting pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did have, and this is also goes to show you, like when we're teenagers, we think anyone who's 21 and over is like old. You know, when you're a teenager, like you're like, ew, what are you, 25? Ew, dude, I would suck dicks to be 25 right now. But we had one when I was a junior, so we were like 17. We had a teacher. She was brand new. Her brother was a senior in my school. So like she was like just out of college, but like you think she's so much older, dude. When I was graduating, I was like in college and I was like 21. I saw her at bars all the time. I was like, oh yeah, you were like 3 years older than me teaching me math. It's like there was like no age gap barely. It's like that weird, but you think of them as so much older than what you really are. But she was hot. But yeah, it's just a weird time in your life where like everything's just emerging together.
Dude, you could just have a teacher with big tits who was disgusting.
Yeah.
Like she her face could just be a fucking some weird fucking like symptom of Chernobyl. But if she just had big tits, you'd be like, nah, fucking you'd fuck her. Yeah. It's like it's fucking it's amazing, like the rose colored lenses you see women through in the ages from like 12 to 16, 12 to 18, 10 to 18 even. Like it's crazy what you're willing to stoop to.
Yeah, I remember I had a teacher, she actually was pretty hot when I was in 8th grade, and the one kid got suspended because she had a big ass, and I'm pretty sure like the kid commented about it. He said, "You have such a fat ass," or something like that. And she
That's wild.
You got thrown out. Oh yeah, it was hilarious. Yeah,
I would have never. I was such a good boy. If honest to God, even if a teacher or anybody like at 12 or like 14, if anyone, in fact, it did happen. There was a time where a girl was clearly, it was my freshman year of high school. There was a girl who was clearly offering to blow me. And I just was like, I gotta go. I just was not there yet.
I gotta go play Halo 3.
I gotta fucking
I gotta go play Halo, dude.
Listen, I'm gonna
I hear
hold that
Master
thought
Chief
for a
call.
second. Listen, I got things to do, bitch. I'm gonna need you to hold that thought. I gotta go. Okay. I just started driving. I got a Nissan Sentra. I'm gonna total it in about a month, but you don't know that yet. I gotta go.
I gotta go play Manhunt with my friends.
Yeah. Yeah. I still gotta go fucking jump on the trampoline in the backyard.
I'm busy. I got things to do, broad. I do have to go, boys. I gotta get the fuck out of here. Zach, it's been a pleasure, dude. Let's do some plugs and we'll get the fuck out of here. Plug your stuff.
Radical right now. I don't know when we're gonna come back, but we are gonna come back. Don't you worry, we're coming back. There is potentially a new show that I'm going to be doing with my buds. It's gonna, I don't know if it's, things are not cemented, but potentially a new show called Algorithm over the weekend. It's not going to be like Unfit Statesman at all. It's going to be like a segmented show, and it's just going to be a very big break from Unfit Statesman. So I'm excited for that. At Unfit Statesman on wherever the fuck, just go there. Yeah.
Hells yeah.
Perfect, dude. Follow me on the Bird app or the former Bird app, please, at Adam Nutter. And please like and subscribe to this fucking channel. Do it. Do it. Please do it now. Like and subscribe. Hit the like button or I'll kill myself. Hit the like button or I'll kill myself.
Right. Well, hit the like button and I'll watch Adam and I'll consider doing it after him. Kamatovic on Twitter, MATOVCIK, a Common Crown. And this Thursday on In Liberty and Health, I have Mel, who goes by at Village Crazy Lady on Twitter, to talk about foreign lobbying.
Cool.
I wonder who that's going to be about.
India.
Qatar, you forgot Qatar.
Oh, Qatar.
Qatar
Yeah.
is
And then Biting the Bullet podcast. Check it out. That's all I got.
Cool.
perfect.
All right, everybody.
boys. Bye, everybody.